Okay. Fine. Let's see. Now, okay, we're officially live.
Live on my side, yeah.
And so far, nobody's watching. Yeah. Yeah, so up top, but the thing to remember is, and that's what people will see when they watch this later on, is that most of the views come from later on. Like, people are going to watch this at the end. So
yeah.
Okay, we got some viewers. So welcome everybody. This is our biggest fan from last time. Welcome back. Glad you made it again. I'm glad we didn't make you sit through 15 minutes of us trying to figure this out like last time. Because last time this was the guy that helped us figure out we were live when
you're live. Yeah,
we didn't know we were live, so that was a bit of a problem. But yeah, welcome Isaac. Glad you could make it.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think before we jump into everything, a couple of housekeeping things for everybody that watched last 2 weeks ago when we streamed. I was not connected to a hard line, which StreamYard told me specifically you need to be on a hardwire connection, and I decided to try Wi-Fi, and that's why I think the video stuttered so much. So for you guys watching, if you see if the video's not looking great, if the audio is not looking great, let me know in the chat so we can correct it for next time. Because I just want to do whatever we can to try to make this better every time we do this. So, and then before we get into introduction with Isaac here, just want to kind of level set everybody here and let everybody know why we're here and why we're doing what we're doing right now. And that's because, well, it's two things. It's twofold. Number one, it's winter time. People are bored. The weeks are long. The winter is long. So my thought was, why not do something that will, number one, break up the week. Number two, break up the winter. And my hope was that maybe people, when they're on their trainer, would have something to watch, for an hour. Because that's where I find myself, is stuck on the trainer looking for something to watch. So I hope that this could be something that people could watch on the trainer. And number two, the reason that we're here is a little bit more important, and that is I think the Midwest is completely full of cool places to ride and great content creators, and I've been completely influenced and inspired by those people and places that I've been in the Midwest. So I think most importantly, this is a great way to bring those people together, and I'm super happy that I got the people that are going to be with us on the stream over the next 5 more of the series. And I want to strengthen this community in any way that I can, because I think it's awesome and it's completely changed my life. Like, this community, these people, these influencers have changed my life. So I think it's important. So I want to do this, and we're going to do it all winter. And if it goes well, we're going to maybe do it even further than that. So
sure.
Let's jump into it. We got, speaking of places that have influenced my life, probably one of the most influential places that I've ever been is the Winman Trails in Manitowish Waters. And that is where I met Isaac. So Isaac, if you could just do a quick intro and kind of tell us how you got where you are now and what you do at Winman.
Yeah, so I am the director of operations at Winman Trails, as he said, just outside Manitowish Waters in the town of Winchester, Wisconsin. Fun fact, there's 2 Winchester, Wisconsins, so don't get lost. We're the ones super far north. It's a whole nother side story, but people do get lost. But yeah, I started there in May of 21. Kind of the quickest backstory, we moved to the North Woods of Wisconsin in October of 20. COVID related, life related. My wife is from the Lake Geneva area, East Troy, Wisconsin, and her family's been coming up here since the late 70s. So we kind of had a place to land, and that's where we chose the land to get our kids into in-person school. And part of the big process, and I can go into this more in detail, but truly was the fact that Winman existed. We moved from Portland, Oregon, where outside was, that's why we moved to Portland, Oregon. We lived there about 5 years. To an extent, I was darn fortunate enough to be able to land a job at Winman kind of haphazardly, looking for something to do after losing out on a stay-at-home gig. Called the then director, Brian Black, said, I need to get my hands dirty. I love trails. Let me come build trails. And that quickly sort of evolved into me taking over the the role as director of operations and have kind of been going strong since May of last year.
It's awesome. And you got some fans.
We love Aaron too. Aaron's a phenomenal volunteer and a huge user and supporter.
That's awesome. And I feel like that is the central, like, I don't know, the feeling that I get from Winman is that is exactly what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, community gathering place is kind of an internal term that's we've made public, but it is that for so many people, right? They've made it that, and so in a lot of ways, what we're always trying to do is just foster that. How can we do that for more people? How can we expand our mission to more people? How can we make that experience better for the ones already coming? So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Real quick, before we move on, is this still asked for feedback and I got it? We still, I mean, Isaac, I would agree. You look perfect.
I was supposed to be the fuzzy one. Yeah, you are a little fuzzy on my end too, but I didn't know.
I wonder why. That's strange. Let me see here. Let me
would have guessed Northwoods Wi-Fi from CenturyLink.
Yeah, and aren't you?
I'm at home. So there's the CenturyLink, just kind of normal stuff up here. We get pretty fast in my house, actually.
What's the deal with the snow? You get snowed in today or what?
No, it is pushed to later, like 3 in the morning is when our groomers were looking at sort of it really starting to come again. So we got maybe an inch or two.
Okay.
But everything got pushed back. We're expecting 8 inches. So
beautiful.
Yeah. We've been open, but with this, it'll be kind of, open for real. Back to ace, onto A skis, fat biking will get better. Everything will be a little bit better with an 8-inch dump.
Good, because we're going to be there soon. But okay, thanks, Punch. You're right. I mean, this was something I wanted to talk about a little bit later, but maybe we need to talk about it now. This is special. That's a special Wi-Fi up there for sure. I don't know what I'm on the wired. I don't know. I'm not an IT guy just yet, so I'm not sure what's going on here. I could try Wi-Fi.
Your audio sounds good. You're not skipping it, at least for me. It's just a little laggy.
That's weird. Let's see. We'll try that. And what else? The camera seems to be doing what it should be doing. I don't know. It's funny because I've been using this camera all day long. Let's see.
Is this where I go into my long monologue to entertain the crew while you do back?
Yeah, you might as well keep going.
So I will. I'll indulge with the other part of the story, because I do think it speaks to the Midwest and to the Northwoods. So I'm from Missouri originally. My background's actually as a physical therapist. So I did outpatient physical therapy for 12 years, doing a variety of things. But so, right, COVID, it's summer of 20. I'm working 60 hours a week. Medical is a madhouse at all levels. First time I've ever been to the Northwoods was August of 20. So we flew out, literally we flew to O'Hare actually. Didn't stop anywhere, took the car straight up to the Northwoods, right? Again, think of that heightened COVID time.
Yeah.
We're up here. We've got some friends who have a cabin, and he's got the green Winman Trails shirt, right? Kind of the old logo. It's on the side of our vending machine still.
Yep. The old logo.
What's this Winman Trails thing? He goes, dude, you got to check it out. It's this crazy good mountain bike place. I don't know why it's here, but you mountain bike, right? I'm like, yeah, I've been mountain biking for, at that time, whatever, 17, 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we go check it out. I borrow his bike. We rent a bike from Coontail for my son, who had just picked up mountain biking that summer. And we go check it out. Day 2 of the trip, we're on the dock. I look at my wife and we just go, let's move here. I don't think we would have moved here. This is truth. The school for one, but two, if Winman or something like Winman wasn't here, we probably wouldn't have moved our family 2,000 miles 6 weeks later.
Yeah.
But I think that's a story that maybe is crazier than some. But I think people buy houses. I think people take more trips up here. I think people do things not just for Winman specifically, but just the mystique and the magic that is the Northwoods. And we're part of that story, and hope to be a larger part as we continue growing. But I think it's a Midwest thing as well, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't necessarily going to jump into the gushy stuff right away, and I may still not. But like the experiences that I've had at Winman, I can remember my first one, which I did look back. I went way back in the camera roll today, like way back, to find out when the first time I was there, and it was 2015 was the first time that I was there. Before there was the chalet, like the chalet was just getting built at that point.
Yeah.
But I kept thinking today, like I kept thinking trail system. Winman is a trail system. Winman is a trail system. And it dawned on me, I was like, you know what? I don't think it is a trail system. When I think of a trail system, I think of something that's very kind of impersonal.
Right. Yep.
When I think of Winman, the best way I can describe it is like when you were a kid and you had that one friend's house that had all the cool stuff, the pool and like the best snacks and like all the best Nintendo games. And when you got to go to that friend's house, that was like the best. So the closest thing that I can try to explain it or describe it is that it's like going to that friend's house back in the day.
Yeah.
The one with the pool, the trampoline, because it's so much more personal. Like, and I don't think it's just me. I think it's a trail system, but it's tied to so many personalities. It's tied to even the social media presence, like has a personality, it has a voice, there's people there. It's not a trail system. Trails are impersonal, but like Winman is an experience that is like going to your friend's house.
Well, and I think I'll just keep laying on the gushy stuff. That is certainly the people who did this before I even knew, obviously, Winman existed. But I think the bigger reason it is that is because we truly are donation based. We don't exist without the people. Mm-hmm. So in a lot of ways, it is their buddy's house where they pitched in for the good snacks, right? They pitched in.
Yeah.
But it feels that way because it's authentically that, and praise to all these other, people do way better with grants than we do. People do way better with getting funding from the state and other things. We really focus our efforts on the people, right? And on the trails and trying to create that. And we're wildly fortunate to have, the donors we do, and allows us to kind of be selfish. I don't know. If that's the right word, but allows us just to continue to foster the things we really care about at the pace we care about. And it's authentic. And I think that would be my hunch is why it feels that way, but it's obviously good to know that.
No, I agree. Yeah. No, that's true. And I think that's what makes so many of the different types of media that you consume, right? That's how you kind of decide what you like and what you don't. Is a lot of the things that feel true, that feel real, that feel authentic are the things that you end up liking and identifying with, and it feels more like you and your friends and how you want to see life. And let's see. Let's go to a couple comments here. Another face to the whole experience.
You're ever at the bars on the weekends? Vanessa's usually the one there giving you the good trail tips and slinging beers and selling you shirts.
What's her dog's name again? I love her dog.
Archie. Quasi.
We shared a moment.
I think everybody does.
We did. Love that dog.
I know. Yeah. Sometimes they don't know Vanessa's name, but they're like, "Who's Archie's mom?"
Archie's mom.
Archie. Man. They get Archie. Archie's a lasting impression for sure.
Hey, good for you.
Welcome.
Lucky. Yeah. In end of January, I'll be staying at the Outdoorsman, so I'll be a couple minutes down the road as well. That'll be fun.
Yeah. We're happy. We're happy for them. That's a great. It's two people bought the Norse Lodge and the Outdoorsman, but such a great spot for Winman users for sure.
Yeah, we're very excited to check that out. Yep. So I think one of your biggest social media influencers is this guy.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, he's put out some pretty good content for you guys.
Yeah,
I
and
definitely
steal
appreciate
and
it.
share all of it.
Yeah.
Well, and he got you into the one wheel thing, didn't he?
He made me ride his one wheel or his wife's one wheel. Either way, both. I've ridden both of them. But yeah, I still got a bruised rib, I think, from the last time I rode it. But
well, that's a crazy dude, right?
It's pretty fun.
I mean, he's like, hey, saw one wheel, so I bought one and signed up for your race. Like, it's 2 months or whatever it was. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and that the whole one wheel thing this year, I think, was pretty revolutionary. I mean, even for me personally, like, I went from not riding a one wheel to riding one probably 6 to 10 times and really falling in love with it. I think it's fantastic. Am I ready to? Am I putting a bike away to bring on a one wheel yet? That's a different story. But we might be getting close.
Yeah, it's a different. And I've yet to get good enough to move beyond like 10 feet on the thing. But
it's definitely different.
Do for sure. And gal.
Yeah. And an interesting story about this guy, Mr. Jeremy, the Mountain Goat Rodriguez, and his wife Destiny, is that for a very, very, very long time, Jeremy, aka Mountain Goat, was more of a myth to me. He was just a local legend to me. I never met the guy, but I heard about him, and I would see somehow. I mean, we were friends on social media before we ever met in real life, as things happen these days like that. And we would miss each other. I would notice that we would miss each other up north a bunch of times at Winman, like over the course of a year or so. And then one day, and it was in the summer, one day I knew he was there. I showed up in the parking lot. He showed up in the parking lot, and I still had not yet seen this guy in real life ever. Got out of the car, and I looked over, and I was like, "You're Jeremy." And he was like, "You're JT." And I was like, do you want to get a lap? Do you want to go for a lap? And I think at this point it was still the yellow trail.
Okay. So wait, hold on. Were you guys calling each other by your first names, not the handles?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah. I don't even know. I wasn't even the Dusty Dutchman at that point yet.
Oh, okay.
He was still Mountain Goat, which he will always be.
Well, he's App Slapper now.
Yes. Yeah. His riding persona from many, many, many years ago was Mountain Goat, because he climbs like a mountain goat. So we get out. I'm like, "Do you want to do a lap?" And we do a lap, and I'm shooting with one of my first GoPros, and that was the first footage that became the first video that I ever put on my YouTube channel. Like, a video that I made for my YouTube channel was that day when he and I rode at Winman, which is the most perfect story in my opinion.
It totally is.
Because the first video I shot for YouTube was at Winman with Jeremy for the very first time. And we met that day. And the video was called Winded at Winman because I couldn't keep up with him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great story. And then snowball over the course of the next couple of years, we start hanging out with him and his wife way more, and now we hang out all the time. And like, we'll be up there at the end of this month. We'll be up at Winman together. Awesome. So it's I think it's a great story.
Going strong too, right? I mean,
oh yeah.
Heck, I don't know what percentage of my content, but it's most of it comes from you two.
It's good. We're happy to help. We're happy to help. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Very good.
Very cool. And yes, you are correct. You are a friend. You're absolutely a friend. I think we met you, Aaron and I met you when we were illegally camping in your backyard.
You had explicit rights. It wasn't illegal.
we think that was what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
2 summers ago, I think. It had to have been 2 summers ago. So
yeah,
summer of my first summer there.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I can tell you this, I definitely did not know your name. You were just the Dusty Dutchman. It took me a bit to figure out what your actual name was.
Yeah. Well, I think I remember hearing you guys talk, and you called me Dusty, which I really.
Oh, I may have.
I kind of like that. Yeah. I kind of like Dusty.
And Brooks is the one wheel, the man who brought the Midwest one wheel to Winman.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Yeah, it's again, I can't call it anything but like it seems like a revolution. Like in my Instagram, I have all these friends that are one wheelers now on my Instagram. I'm seeing all this cool stuff that I've never seen before. Seeing them progress, it's like it's cool to watch something like become so much more than it was, a year or two ago. Like watching it evolve and progress before your eyes is super cool.
And these guys, their content is, speaking of content in the Midwest, I'm going to mess up all the names of these guys. Indie Moto is the tagline. Anyway, these guys put out incredible stuff. He's got some really good stuff with mountain bikers on the same trails, like trying to catch up and keep up with each other. Really kind of shows the comparison super well. But then when you actually get on a one wheel and you're like, this guy did what on a one wheel? That can't be right.
It's crazy.
Can't keep up on a mountain bike, can he?
They're going faster than mountain bikes, I feel like, in a lot of
in the right scenario with the handful of guys. And there's a certainly, I keep saying guys, that's a collective term. The one wheel community, the good people are just incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome. Joel with the box. Love the square box. Love the square box. It's so perfect, just like a trail that you would build. Like great
Maybe
lines.
It's a borrow pit. Maybe just dug a borrow pit.
Maybe that's a borrow pit. I love that.
That's got to be
that. Let's see. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited to check it out. So here's Minnesota MTB. We'll have Evan on in a number of weeks, but yeah, Copper Harbor, you'll love Winman. Just be careful. Be careful when you come to Winman the first time. Just be careful because when you fall in love, you're gonna be there a lot. And
it's you plan a day, and hopefully you spend two, or catch us on your way back down.
Yeah.
That's what we hope. But we want you to visit the other places too. I mean, it's a collective pull through the northern, us and really north. And Wausau's doing some great stuff too. There's just a lot of good stuff going on throughout the area. And if I say too much, I'll forget somebody I shouldn't. But one of the things I love about mountain biking, and we may get more into this, is just understanding the regionality of mountain biking. And Moab's great, and Bentonville's great, and I lived in the Pacific Northwest, and it's great, and North Carolina, like all these places are great, but they are all just totally a different feel, and so much of it's the terrain and the soil composition and the nuance to it. As you get more and more into mountain biking, that's one of my favorite parts. Is stuff's harder and easier, but more so it's just different, and so getting out there and finding different is super fun.
Yeah, because every region has its own feel. Like it's got its own vibe for sure. And that's why that's traveling, right? Like that's traveling in general. It's just you want to see a different perspective, somebody looking at something a different way. Some people, like Wisconsin, we drink a lot. Apparently we have good bike trails. I mean, we know that, but we drink a lot, and I
was told I had to bring libations.
Yeah, no, you're right. This episode is also sponsored by High Noon once again. Don't forget to use.
And then getting into builder, right? So people familiar with Winman can go along, and there's a distinct vibe to what Bellman built, what Bellick built, what Joel's building now. And that's super cool too. And I think all of it's great in different ways. And all just, hopefully everybody, one of the things we try to do, and I think a lot of people do, is give you something different on every trail.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want to make it too monotonous. And bringing on Joel, I mean, we're nothing without Joel for sure, but he can do it all, cool right? And so that's super important to us as well, is continuing to give something different, even within this regional sort of nature that is inherent to mountain biking, right? I've got 100 feet. I'm not going to give you a 2,000 foot downhill course. That's not going to happen. But what can we do?
Is that actually what it is? 100 feet of elevation?
Like 100. Somebody can probably correct me a little. It's somewhere between 100 and 110. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you'd never know it though, because it just gets it gets used intelligently, and that's my preference to mountain biking isn't Colorado. I don't love 1,000 feet up followed by 1,000 feet down. But again, some people do.
Yeah. No, I agree. Colorado has it's got its place, And, there's, for the guys that I have mountain biked in Colorado with, like, I think the experience that we had was very much similar to the terrain, where there was like very high highs and very low lows. Because when you're trying to make it to 10,000 or 11,000 feet, it hurts. Actually, this guy has put up a bunch of Colorado content, and he's handled it quite well, I will say. He does a lot of climbing and doesn't complain nearly as much as I did when I was there.
I start complaining in the parking lot. Just feels better.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, yeah, we know that. With a lot of exclamation points. You are screaming this. It should be in all caps, by the way. Let's see. Yeah. There's a lot of stories behind Jeremy Mountain Goat, I'm telling you. And then that
was that summer of 21.
Yeah.
It was the first year of the well, I don't even know if we should call it a bike wash. Maybe it's just we need to rebrand an outdoor shower.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, and if you need it, we can do Aaron and I can do another sultry shower session back there, which was, that's a good time. That was a good time. We broke that shower in. Yeah, I could do that. I could definitely do that. So Colin and I last weekend did a pretty cool ride in Milwaukee where this is my new favorite historian right here.
Okay.
If you haven't, go check out his YouTube channel, subscribe to his channel, because he's doing a series of videos called Cycle Paths, where he and another person will go for a ride, and they talk about like very obscure history of some of the areas, like things you would never know unless you did some very deep dives into the history. So he and I were in Milwaukee. He brought me to some places that had some history I had no idea about. So that's something that I really appreciate, because I appreciate videos that have another layer to them, more than just let's go ride a bike, but also let's do something else while we're at it. In this case, his something else is the history of the places that he rides, which is pretty cool.
Well, we have not officially started the project. So the Manitowish Waters Historical Society is run by a guy named Jim Bokern up here. And he is just phenomenal. If you're curious about anything in the Manitowish Waters area, check out the Historical Society website. But there's a lot of really cool facts about the property that Winman is located on. And he has a lot of original and old documents. We're going to dive into that project in the coming months and spend about 6 months working on it, but release a lot of stuff related to Native American history, ecological history, the glacial history. There's some just cool stuff. So it'd be fun to connect with. You said it was Colin?
Yeah. Colin, the Days Bike Weekend. Yeah.
So yeah, that's another on the laundry list of about 1,000 things we're always on the project list. That's something I'm excited about, because this area just has a really rich history and a well-documented history.
Yeah. I think the hard part is people don't always look, but once you start looking, it's amazing what you can find when you really start looking into history. Yes, that's true, Aaron. He does. There's a couple guys that are going to be on this stream that don't have fat bikes, and I don't know that's okay.
At least rent one, right?
You got to at least rent one, and the Coontail's good for that, for sure. Joel, thank you for everything you do, man.
We're happy
you've made some awesome trails. I kind of tried to ask him about this new jump line that is, I think, happening.
It's 3/4 happened. It'll be here soon.
Okay, we're you can probably imagine Aaron and I are very excited to get up and ride that. So
it's big. It's the biggest jumps we've got, including some massive step-up jumps, some big. So if you come up, bring snowshoes.
Yeah. Okay.
If you snowshoe out the north side, it's a post out of the snowshoe loop. You end up going through, weaving in and out of this new trail. And so it's hard to tell, right? Because it's snow and you're not actually on the trail for a lot of it, but you'll start to see the size of some of this stuff. I think it'll pique your interest. It's going to be awesome. We don't know spring, who knows? But call it June. We'll have an official date a lot sooner and a name to come, but it'll come off Send It. So you'll take the same entry to Send It.
Yeah.
And then if you've been there a while, back So Yellow Trail had the little cutoff to send it. So kind of that spot now is going to be the entry to this trail.
Okay.
And it's basically all downhill. There's a short jog uphill, but it's kind of drop the post and go.
Okay. I'm excited to see. I'm very interested to see how you're going to incorporate my name into this trail.
I am too. I'm
that's
waiting on
gonna
submissions from you.
Okay, good. Get one. Yeah. Okay.
There we
He's up
go.
there quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much, I think, I want to say Jeremy's new car, I think it's only programmed to go to Winman and back. I think that's probably
Yeah.
all that it does.
But really, do you need anywhere else?
You don't really go. Let's see.
Is that too much pandering?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, always good vibes. Yeah. I still haven't ridden the zip trails yet.
Yeah.
I need to check those out.
And that's some fun fat biking. Shannon's great for fat biking. Mike, who's kind of volunteer extraordinaire for the Lambo crew, it's kind of in his backyard. So he grooms that thing meticulously.
Okay.
They've got some fun events. So Lambo, for those unawares, the Lakes Area Mountain Bike Organization based out of Minocqua. So they manage, it's a club down there managing trails. Zipline is their big one, but they manage others. They've got two really fun fat bike events. So be sure to check them out as well. And Lambo Spur. So if you're at Winman, Lambo Spur was a trail that was built by Travis Bellman, and then they volunteered. We were able to support their organization. They put in a ton of man hours to build Lambo. And so that's why that's called Lambo.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah. We, I know I did a video about Lambo Spur, like when it first opened. That was a cool spot.
Yeah.
This is great feedback. I appreciate that. This is what happens. This is me in a nutshell. I try to make something better and I make it worse. I ran a 50-foot Ethernet cable from this side of the house to this side of the house just so that I could plug it in. Spent hours running this cable, drilling holes, bringing it all into this room, just so I could be hooked up to Ethernet. And here we are. It's worse. It's worse than it was before.
That's weird.
Yeah, great. Thanks. Yeah, help them out. Just help them out. It's a cucumber. Yeah, great. Fairbairn fans. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it'd be cool. I would love to see what you could do up there.
Let's connect.
What you would come up with. Oh, that's a new one. I haven't seen this one in the chat yet. If you don't build any building yourself, you should consider any of you don't. Not sure what that means.
I think he's saying get out and build some trail.
Okay. Good call.
Because I think it's building trail gives you such a building trail, grooming trail if you're a winter user, understanding the process that goes into it, just like anything, but totally changes your perspective on it.
Sure.
And it's hard to, you spend 4 passes to get all the rocks out, but I just saw a rock. I'm like, I know we spent 4 passes. It is what it is, but there's a lot that goes into building good quality, sustainable trail. Again, hugely regional, but for most of the Midwest, that's kind of what it is. Even with good soil content, you're going to find rocks and boulders that you got to flesh out.
Yeah. And this is a really important topic that we need to talk about, Isaac. This is very important.
Yes.
I hope you're ready. Myself and my immediate crew, we all have Hawk skis.
These are the what's the generic? I'm blanking.
So they're like
you got a boot. It's kind of a wide. Yeah.
They're not so long. We did it for the first time up in Cuyuna, and they want you to go do it they want you to hawk ski on the fat bike trails because it's basically free grooming. So it's a short ski, and in the middle it has those. I'm not big on like the technology here, but like the little grippers, little grippy guys that allow you to go forward and not back, so you can climb with them.
Yep.
So they have that in the middle, right under the boot. But when you go hop skiing on a fat bike trail, you basically are, grooming it and packing it down, which they do up there because they don't know, they have more trails than they have groomers.
Right.
So the Hawkskis take care of some of the grooming, and it's super fun because you can wear regular boots. You don't need any kind of special boot. It's just a ski with a binding. You stick your foot in it, you crank it down, you grab some whiskey of some kind, some good kind of drink. It's best to do at night with headlights, and you go. It's like snowshoeing, but you get to slide. Like instead of snowshoeing and just trudging, you're actually sliding.
Yep.
And so you can kind of just walk up the uphills, but then when you go downhill, you actually get to slide a little bit. And they have metal edges.
Coontail rents these.
Yes. Do they now? Because
they started last year. Hawk, I believe, is a brand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blanking on the generic term. Somebody may be able to pop it in what Coontail rents, but no. So, is this leading into a question of where you can use them at Winman? I have an answer.
Right there.
You can. Not on
okay.
But wait, there's So I would have to see what they do to our fat bike trails. But we have 3 miles of backcountry skiing. They work awesome there. We've tried them there. We know they work well there. I see no problem with using them on any of our snowshoe trails, some of which run on mountain bike trails.
Yeah.
So our backcountry snowshoeing would be a great spot. You hit parts of Lambo, Perimeter, Rear Hub, Return, and all of Gene Machine on these. So you could do all of Gene Machine. I still need to test them myself, to be honest. I've been told by the Coontail guys that on the skate lanes for all our cross-country skiing, they're totally fine. So that's a whole lot of miles you can use them on. I don't know about fat bike trails, though.
We could show you. We could test them for you.
Right. We'd have to see, because I'll be honest, we do really well with grooming our fat bike trails.
You do. Yeah. You definitely do.
We're getting better this year. We actually we now have 3 guys grooming this winter for the first time ever. And Jeremy, so we brought on another trail builder this fall, thanks to the success of our fundraising campaign, is allowing us to kind of get more aggressive with a few projects that we just haven't gotten to. One of which is improving our grooming of fat bike trails. So forever, right? So all the ski trails, all the fat bikes done by 2 people, it's a maddening job, but they do it. So we now, Jeremy Johnson's his name, but he's going to dial in the fat bike better than we've ever done before. So if you thought it was good last year, we're actually giving him more tools. He's going to be hopping off. He's going to be raking berms. He's going to be packing in berms.
That'll be good.
Yeah. So we're pretty excited. So I'm going to give it a cautious let's see. But for sure, you've got, I don't know, if it's the skate lanes, you've got 20 miles you can do it on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's plenty. Yeah. So, plus, don't you have a sledding hill now?
And we got sledding hill. You can rock them down the sledding hill. I do not. Let me check my liability insurance first, but but you can see what happens. You can hit the berm, jump at the bottom into the pump track, and just
there you go.
Let it ride.
We're gonna get through this together, Isaac. You and me and all my friends.
It's all that communication. It's all that communication.
We're gonna get through this. I mean, like I said, here's another one. This is one of your biggest influencers. You're not gonna want to disappoint this man. We got to make this work.
I don't want to. We choose to disappoint nobody.
Yes, we're gonna make this work. If not, maybe we just dedicated trails, Hawkski trails or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We are always looking for the next best idea that nobody's done. Yeah, I would be curious to see what they look like. You know, what the wear pattern is on them.
Yep. Yeah. Like, obviously, for me, groomed trails are the best trails, and they're a good groom is that's you're speaking my language of a good groomed fat bike trail. And when we did this in Cuyuna, and me looking back at the trails like that, I'm not a grooming expert by any means, but the way that the trail was before versus after, I was like, this is a trail I would want to ride after.
I would think it's total compaction. Logically, it makes some sense to me. But this is being recorded, so I'm gonna hold my cards close at the moment. I will default. I'm just the dude who makes sure we have enough money to pay the groomers. I'm gonna default said question to Joel and Jeremy and Brad, groomer extraordinaires.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, we can just it's a wait and see. I'm good with that. I mean, we're gonna show up.
I'm gonna rent some soon. This is a crazy season for us through the holidays, but come January, I'm going to grab some myself from Coontail. I want to check out the backcountry skiing because I'm learning skate skiing this year. I cross country ski, but I don't backcountry ski. I don't have the equipment, so I'm excited to go check those trails out. So
cool. Yeah, I don't know what sponsored. Is that a new word I'm not familiar with?
Well, when you're six deep into the sponsorship.
Yes, that's true. And you go from sponsored to sponsored.
Doesn't get better, cool.
Apparently. Okay. Short
right.
ski.
Yep.
Okay. Skins. Yep. Okay. It's so easy for you guys. It's so easy for you. You just get to remember all these words. Amazing. Let's see. That's a good one.
You can
take that one.
We will give you numerous ways to donate, but on the website there's a donation page. At the trailhead, we've got donation boxes, we've got QR codes, we've got text to donate. If the bar and apparel shop's open on the weekend, you can donate there. But you should be able to find numerous buttons on our website to support us. And not to go into this, but it's really just a nice document if you're not familiar with Winman, if this all is new to you. We're in the middle of a fundraising campaign without a definitive end date. We have a definitive numeric goal of 500,000. We're about 177,000 raised into that. We started that in May, but the give page, it's campaign on the website. It just gives a lot of information about Winman. Check out the files. There's a great video that is part of that page, the one that you did showing biking in the summer and winter there. There's just different documents that kind of let you go as deep as you want into who we are. But it exists for another reason. I'm not asking for money. Great place to find information about Winman, though.
Yeah, and I will say that I wasn't surprised that donating to Winman is also very streamlined and very easy. And I've donated to other trail-related things, not so easy. It can be difficult and frustrating, like almost to the point where it like turns you off a little bit. But when it came time to donate to Winman, it was literally like bling bling. Oh, that was it. Oh, literally. Okay.
It's always a goal. We always try to balance less button clicks without spending too much money on the software, right?
So easy.
You don't want to put your money towards anything, right? Software, the goal is to put every dollar my job is to raise funds so that we can get paid, pay for the technologies. The dollars that get donated are 100% allocated towards trails, the trailhead, front-facing things. Everything that your dollars go to, you will see and interact with and feel. And we are successful at raising the other monies necessary in different ways.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's see what else we got. What is it like to fat bike or even ride a normal bike on a frozen lake without studded tires? You may have a slippery time with that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I would wager not successful. So we're assuming not snow covered pond. We're assuming an ice rink, right?
Yeah, which if you do with studded tires is fantastic. It's one of the more grippier situations you can be in. Let's see. Would people hawk skiing get in the way of people fat biking? It could be, yeah. And I think that's why hawk skiing seems to be, at least from the people that I've done it with, it seems to be more of a nighttime thing. That's when we would plan on doing. I think nighttime would be better for that reason. Because you could definitely get in the way. It's a good point.
Is it slower, you think, or faster?
It's way slower. It is a slow situation.
It's easier snowshoeing. That's maybe an oversimplification, but
it is easier than snowshoeing. But it's almost like
the pace of
It's almost like you can only go. Let's say it like this: when you're just on a flat trail, you can really only go as fast as you could. Let's say jog, because you're just sliding a little bit. It's not until you're headed downhill that you really actually get to like slide a little bit.
Okay.
But otherwise it's kind of like you're almost like it's similar to cross country skiing and how much effort you get in versus how much slide you get. But they're shorter. So there's a little bit more resistance, and it also depends how much snow because on these you're not necessarily on a groomed cross country trail. You're on could be a fat bike trail, which isn't. It's not the same groom, right? It's different.
Yeah.
So you're definitely not going as fast, but it once you finally get to go downhill, it's quite a bit of fun. And the idea, honestly, is it's very chill. This is a very relaxed. This isn't something you're going out like going for a PR or like looking for a particular heart rate or trying to go anaerobic. This is something you do, like I said, in the evening at nighttime with a headlamp. Like you have a drink in your hand and you're just kind of out there enjoying more like snowshoeing, I would say.
Right.
Let's see. I'm ready for much ride this weekend. Good question.
So I think this weekend we are hosting a high school and middle school ski race on Saturday. We're super excited. It's our first race to this magnitude we've done. So I would tell you this, Jeremy, avoid the place probably Saturday until about 2. We'll be out. The ski race is small and there'll still be fat biking open on Saturday. You can take Earn It Up and then anything back down is getting into the weeds. But Winman 1, Flowage, Jump Line will be closed because it crosses the ski race. But I would say this, by Saturday night and certainly into Sunday when it firms up, it'll be good. I don't know about Friday night. We'll have to see because it's warm is the problem.
Okay.
So it's snow, but we're also only getting down to 29. The cold temps don't come in till Saturday. I believe we get to 15 or 16, Friday into Saturday. So early Saturday. So stay tuned to the trail conditions page. We'll let you know. But maybe mentally plan Friday night could be sketch. Saturday afternoon will be better. Sunday will be great. Would be my guess as I sit here now.
But you're gonna have everything perfect by the time we get there for New Year's, right?
Yes. When are you coming up so I can be sure that we work double time? It was better. Yeah. Are you guys up that week?
Yeah, we'll be up for 3, 4, 5 maybe days. We'll probably So we'll probably be there the 3 days leading up to New Year's Eve.
And long range forecasts. After this we'll have enough snow, right? And so temps are showing kind of that 5 to 20 range, which is golden. So who knows with weather, but it's looking good. That is our busiest week of the winter. It's probably the most fun week to be at Winman. You get that community vibe. We'll have family reunions there every night. The pizza oven will be going in the chalet. There's people bringing potlucks in. It's a really fun week to be there for sure. And so last year, every year you never know, but conditions wise, it should be really good. Cool.
Let's see. This is a good point about hawk skis. Because you got no free wheels. It's the most silent of silent sports. I'd agree. Let's see. If you aren't a biker, that's a good question.
So at Winman specifically, we in the summer we have hiking and trail running trails. We designate about 6 miles. Be aware it's Northwoods of Wisconsin. May, June, July, not awesome. You better be faster than the mosquitoes.
Oh man.
August, September, October is about as good as anywhere. And then in the winter we do sledding, we do cross country skiing, skate, and classic, and then snowshoeing. And we do what we call groom snowshoeing, which is really just double wide. So it's a way for people to go out and just chat. Bring the dogs, bring the kids. It's a little bit more approachable versus backcountry, which is more what you think of. The bike trails, as you know and have showed extensively, are amazing. The Discovery Center is really cool. And they are undergoing their own $3 million renovation. And it is supposed to be done by, parts are getting turned over to them, but all kind of like a finished project, my understanding is May or June. So just in time for summer season up there. It's going to be a phenomenal place for kids and all the way up. They have trails as well. But the lakes are the gem for sure. If you can get out on the lake and do anything up here. The Chambers do a good job. The Chambers have a lot of events. there's not a weekend outside of shoulder seasons where there's not something going on. A lot of family oriented stuff, but you know, a lot of adult drinking bars, dive bars, fun to be had.
Aaron,
as well.
Yeah, Aaron and I checked out Manny's last time we were there. We had a great time.
It's a nice place.
Yeah, that was a good time. Well, this is awesome. Thanks, man.
Oh, thank you.
Great.
Whatever your
what is your first name?
We
know you like guitars due to the Ibanez, but this is your second time on the chat, so let me know what your first name is so I can call you by your first name next time you pop up. But thank you, that's awesome, and I agree. It is extremely easy, which makes it really great. And then this is important because I definitely don't know this. So let's hear this one.
So wait, you don't know why it's Winman? Or you don't know?
I mean, I can assume that it has something to do with Winchester and Manitowish Waters, but that's
it.
I hope I didn't spoil your story.
That's the story. So we are
located
in the town of Winchester, we are the town of Winchester. There's just not much there at the moment. It used to be a huge logging town. I think we are hopefully part of the story that allows for private development to start to flourish again in Winchester. It is a great community, 500-ish plus or minus residents. It's a cool town for sure. So we're located in the town of Winchester. Manitowish Waters is 4 miles away. That's sort of the bigger named town. It's on the main highway, and so Winman is how that came about. But we're really proud to call Winchester home. I think there's just a lot of excitement in that town from my perspective. So I'm a volunteer. So again, I was a PT for a lot of years. I'm an EMR for the EMS squad there in Winchester. The fire department, town hall, the board there is super supportive, doing some really good things. So to an extent, and then we have a live webcam. So if you hop on our trail conditions page, we now have a live webcam that'll show you kind of just a little part of Winman Park, but the start of the fat bike trails, Winman 1, as well as the start of the ski trails. So you can kind of see what's going on. Honestly, it'd be really fun Saturday morning to see all the high schoolers and middle schoolers take off. The race starts kind of right at the webcam. Yeah. So that could be some fun people viewing. We'll see.
Some fun stuff going on in the chat right now. I'm just going to pop this one up.
I'll let you, what do you think?
Yeah. The chat actually answered it for me, but I'm going to leave this one out. But the funny thing, this is my favorite related comment, is the P-Patch great service, because they hate us, man. The P-Patch, they don't like us. They don't like
you.
I don't know, but they like every time I've been in that place, we've been in that place, me, Sarah, we've all been in that place, and every time we go there, the bartender's so mad.
I'm not convinced it's you
because it's us. It might be us.
It may be a 100-hour a week working the summer thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter though, because it's all year. It doesn't matter what time of year.
Well, I will say the Dam Witch is very good. If you go,
very good.
That would be my suggestion for sure.
But Vanessa's all over it. Anglers, Yield, Shillelagh, Manny's. What else? I still haven't eaten at. I haven't had Aurora Borealis yet.
Yeah. Gotta throw a shout out to Aqualand. They're one of our sponsors.
Oh yeah, I've had that. That's a great
perk, but they do a great job.
Excellent. A lot of beer, a lot of good beer.
PI Pub up in Presque Isle, if you go that way. The PI Pub's a good spot to have lunch or dinner.
Okay. But my guy here, Mr. Biking with Bourbon, nailed it.
True.
100%. That's where I'm at. I can't go up there and not go there. That's just where I'm at. The guide's in now.
So if you compared Aberdeen to like White Oak or the Smokies.
Yeah, see, I've been to Smokies too. I don't think Smokies is as good. I just feel like Aberdeen is a little bit more, we said it earlier, I feel like Aberdeen's more authentic.
That's the vibe, yep. Yeah, we got Little Bow. Little Bow is a good place too. It kind of hits the middle between an Anglers and an Aberdeen.
Guides Inn is very good. Love the Guides Inn.
I'm embarrassed to say I know of these places. I go to very few. He's 4 today. My youngest is 4, but a 4, 7, and 10-year-old we don't hit up the restaurant scene too much.
So yeah, he knows. He knows.
Now, I used to love the Boulder Beer Bar. That was kind of our go-to.
Oh,
but it shut down.
The Boulder Beer Bar. My favorite experience at the Boulder Beer Bar is being there one time in the summer, and they had a TV screen. It probably looks like I do now because for some reason my connection is so terrible.
That was cutting edge technology when they bought it.
Was literally this big, and it was playing a baseball game, and we're sitting in the bar. I'm like, why is this? Why do you have this? Like, nobody can see who's playing or where the ball is or anything. But we've stopped there a few times.
We used to love it, and it was I don't know enough of the story to go into it, but the bartender is when it was open, the kindergarten teacher at the school.
Okay.
Right. It's kind of a fun. I mean, it's a small community, right? A lot of people do a lot of things. But my kindergartner loved going to Fish Fry Friday and seeing his teacher at the Boulder Beer Bar.
Yeah.
Like, that's like an ingrained memory in his life. I don't know what that's going to mean in 20 more years, but it was super fun. It's a good community.
I mean, just these last 5 minutes of this conversation, like, there's a lot of good places to eat.
There really are.
Between Minocqua and Manitowish
or Mercer. There's some good stuff up in Mercer.
Boulder Junction. Like, there's a lot of good places to eat there. And yeah, Miss George's. We loved one of our favorite rides on the Heart of Isles County trails were to go from Manitowish to Boulder and back, and then we'd always go to George's for like a bloody and a beer.
Yep. And
some food, and then head back. But George's is RIP.
Yeah.
And then apparently, okay, it's interesting. There's some good history, or I suppose that's more so the current.
It's a family thing, I think. But
yeah. Is this like trying to? I don't have children, but I feel like this would be trying to choose your favorite child.
It's definitely what you're in the mood for that day thing. I am absolutely the last thing we built tends to be my favorite. I'm obsessed with Joel's trail building style. But my stock answer for the summer is flowage. It's got some good length to it. It gives you a little bit of everything. Good. You get Joel's fun, flowy, jumpy sort of start. Then you get some old stuff. You at least get a hill, feel like you actually did something. And you get some of the older school drops that are a little rough. So I like flowage is kind of my general answer because it gives me a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah.
Summertime. I think summertime. I gotta go Bridge Trail. Now that's my new favorite. Bridge Trail is probably my new favorite, and then for winter, there's nothing more fun than Twins in winter.
Twins is the answer.
That is just. I mean, being able to see one of my best friends smash his head into a tree,
which is hard to do, I think,
and laugh about it the entire time. Like, it was the funniest thing for both of us.
It was the first tree on the right? He didn't even make it out of the gate.
Yeah. It's great. I mean, where else? How? In what other scenario do you get to see that? Like a good crash, or like someone just eating it, and you just get to just point and laugh and be like loser, and just take off. We'll see you at the bottom. And it's great.
It's just super fun.
Absolutely. And the Bridge Trail is
you have not checked out Gene Machine much, if at all.
You've
got to get out to Gene Machine next. So I think there are parts of it that you would, I think, fall in love with.
I think so too. Yeah, I know Ryan, my buddy Ryan, Tanya's in the chat. Her husband Ryan he rode that this summer, and he was telling me about it. And it does sound. I don't know why we haven't ridden it.
I think
we get caught up.
Yeah, there's too many fun side projects and filming too many videos. I ask you to, but
yes.
But then, I think Gene Machine and this new trail will probably be your new favorites next time you come.
Okay. We can't wait for the jump trail. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, back to Northern Waters.
Oh, yeah. That place is always.
And actually, okay, yeah. So Jeremy loves Roller Creek. Roller Creek is great.
That's like both summer and winter.
Yeah. No, that's true. That is probably one of the best for both. honestly.
And it's one we've got. It's on the list. It keeps getting jockeyed around, but it's getting a refresh. Maybe 30-40% of it's been retouched.
Yeah.
But we'll retouch it, and the whole thing will go faster. And we can squeeze some more fun out of that trail too.
And I do gotta say, I got a little caveat. My one little caveat would be the red trail, because that even before you guys finished the bridge, because we haven't ridden it since you finished the bridge, but the red trail is a blast. That speed, like going as fast as you can through that, is a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And it's we had to rebuild the first half to fit Earn It in. And I think Joel did an amazing job, but it's almost 2 trails, right? It's this, we've got a gap jump on a rock garden.
Yeah, for sure.
You can roll it or gap jump it. And the whole thing's a rock garden. There's some cool things on that trail.
Speaking of cool things, there's some shade going down. There's a little bit of shade being thrown in the chat right now. I'm just saying, dang. So Sarah is my wife now. Thank you for marrying.
Congratulations.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think it's actually on video. I had Sarah wearing a GoPro at one point going down the Twins beating Tanya. So Tanya, you gotta step it up. Sorry.
There is a secret there. There's a left-right secret though.
Is there? What is it?
Well, one is they're the same distance within a few feet, from my understanding. I've never wheeled it, but one side 100% rides faster.
And what side is that?
Right.
Really? Okay.
So that's also on the rebuild. Well, actually, this isn't official, but we're jockeying. There's a discussion to bring the starting gate up to the front hub. So we'll add a few hundred feet.
Yeah. Okay.
So everybody gets to see the starting gate, and to make it a true dual slalom, right? So it slaloms, and then it divides a little bit, then slaloms, then divides again. But to make it be a flat out slalom the whole way down, we'll see. I'm a little over my skis on this, but that's one of the discussions. So that it'd be fun to have kind of that as a part of an enduro, or have it truly be a right and left race someday. Who knows? If you want to see that, I should be getting all my survey data right now.
Well, here you go. I mean, now we know.
I've missed an opportunity.
Sarah must have known. Sarah somehow had the hot route. Had the hot route there. So Tanya, that is Ryan's wife, and you've met both of those people before.
Okay.
Last year when I did my video up at Winman, that was part of the crew up there.
Yeah.
And she's been to this, at least she and her husband have been to the Bourbon Bar, which we haven't been to yet, which I've heard about. It was actually, we were told about it by the lady that runs the tuner, the boat, the tiki bar on the boat.
Oh, okay.
She was telling us about this Bourbon Bar.
I don't even
we call it the tuner tiki bar. I don't know what it's actually called, but we call it the tuner tiki.
Bar.
Yeah, it's a tiki bar on a boat. And she was telling us about a bourbon bar, which is secret. You have to know exactly where it is or something along those lines. But apparently it's called Drop Shot, and it's under the Outpost, and I want to check it out. So we'll go there.
I should know this. Where's the Outpost?
Unknown. It's out there, in the woods somewhere.
I hope it's a hike too. This needs to be a hike to bourbon. Yeah. Oh, maybe that's our next best thing.
And you I'm sure you go down Highway F and you turn right past the church and one of those things.
Yeah.
Love the Twins. We've had a lot. So this is Tanya's husband, Ryan, 04.
Okay. Yeah.
One of the main inspirations for my video making career that has started here in the last couple of years. He was making videos way before I was, and I saw how cool it was to buy cool cameras and make videos, and he helped me get started in it, and I've making videos together.
I've told you this. Maybe the worst part of Winman is the amount of things my kids now want in life.
Mm-hmm.
So my kids' Christmas list is both of them. My 7, it's a GoPro and a one wheel.
That's east. So simple.
Yeah.
It's like
Dad
a mere $3,000 and you're there.
I don't know what they think Dad does, but love the job. nonprofit's not the place to go buying one wheels freely for 7-year-olds. Those
For
don't matter.
reference, the first time I was at Winman, that's the GoPro I had to use. The 4. That's how long ago the first time I was at
Was it
Winman.
grainy there too?
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
I was just curious.
This hurts my feelings. I want you guys to know how much this hurts my feelings. You know how much I love good resolution, and I can't tell you why I have terrible blurriness right now. It looks, and by the way, on my computer, for everybody at home, my computer looks so crisp. It's perfect. Let's see. That's a good one.
So events, yes. Races, no. We'll be dropping our event calendar probably in January. We're looking to do a few different things this year. Really, we try to focus when it comes to events, it's really on growing and educating. So a lot of kids events, we do some women specific events. We're trying to do things on maintenance and bike fits. And, the way we function is kind of unique in that it's randomish weekends that people have a lodge scheduled, or they can come up. It's not like we're in Milwaukee and you can just come any weekend. And so a lot of what we do is really around growing everybody getting outside, specifically on bikes. And then we hope those raise a few dollars, but to be honest, we hope you just fall in love with Winman and continue to kind of see and believe and support in what we're doing and help out when and where you can. We're going to have more volunteer events this summer than we've had, and pushing those out sooner than we have, so you can plan those, because we totally appreciate that's dollars go a long way, man hours go a really long way too. And then the easiest answer is membership. The best way that we're going to be able to grow our stake in sort of the mountain bike community in the Midwest is showing that we've got members who believe in us and support us and give every year. So that's a really easy, maybe not easy, but that's a consistent way to support us. That goes further than your dollar, just in what we're able to do with that and communicating that to folks. So
it's awesome. Yeah, usually. Yeah, that's usually her.
Now I know. Yeah, no,
yeah. Oh yeah. And look at you guys are like you're just saying the same stuff. That's great. Oh, so frustrating. All right, so since we've already been streaming for over an hour, there are a few questions I got for you that
time to start. Now we start, right?
Time to start the stream.
Okay.
Time to start the stream. Let's see. Actually, we covered a couple of these things. I have one question for you that actually has two qualifying questions. And the first one is, do you know what the word bougie means?
I have an interpretation of the word bougie, and that I would, yes.
Okay. All right. That's good. Do you think it's possible for a bike trail to be bougie?
A mountain bike trail?
Mm-hmm. Maybe. I mean, it's up for your interpretation.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So then I guess the really the only question left to ask is, Isaac, are the Winman Trails bougie?
No, I think we're the exact opposite of bougie.
Tell me why.
Because I think it's authentic, right? We talked about authenticity earlier. But it's a trail system started by a guy who wanted to bring trails to the North Woods and share his passion with the community. And if they liked it, he'd figure out how to help fund it and grow it. And that's where we are today. I interpret bougie as some degree of not elitist, but restricted, or, we're the exact opposite of that. We're free and open to the public. We need your donations. We ask for them, but I hope we come off as the exact opposite. I hope we come off as an authentic community builder that's welcoming to everybody, and maybe more so. We use this phrase "get better," right? Mm-hmm. Everything has kind of a get better, so we want our users to get better, and maybe that's mentally, physically, emotionally. This gets really gushy again, but a lot of getting outside for people is to get better. And we hope our staff gets better. We hope our volunteers get better. We hope our board gets better. Like any other organization, we're trying to do that. But no, that's my answer without getting too much more long-winded.
No, I think that's great, because that's I need that information for myself when people say that I'm bougie, and I'm going to say exactly what you just said. So that's very helpful for me.
Just cut, paste, play it back to them. You'll be good.
Yeah, I think maybe the misinterpretation is because it's just so nice.
Yeah,
like it's so refined, and it's so progressive, and I mean, even the whole one wheel thing this year is almost, it's like you're even trendy. Like, that's trendy. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that like a very unhip person to even use the word trendy. But
and I'm the least hip in my Costco shirt and my Walmart undershirt. I am the least hip person. I will out unhip you. No, we listen. We listen. We listen. If you've ever been there, you've probably been asked to take a survey. You've probably been asked questions by me or Vanessa or Michael. I like polished. I mean, we put sometimes too much effort, right? But we'd rather put too much effort into a thought process and a project than deliver on something that falls short of our expectations. So we hold ourselves to high expectations for sure. But the one wheel thing is not. Brooks came to me and said, "Hey, what do you think?" I'm like, "Educate me. I don't know much about these. I've seen them. I think they're cool. Let's talk about it." And an hour conversation and just being an active listener and open to an idea isn't rocket science. It's what we should all be doing, probably in all aspects of life a little more. But
agreed. And how ironic, like, that so much progression, and even just like what you just said about just the thought processes and stepping back and spending so much time in the planning phase and just the conceptual part of it, and that something so progressive is happening in the middle of the Northwoods. And
I should, and I won't name names because they probably would rather just be the people that they've always been. But this has been since the foundation of Winman. Has been, the culture was, note, I've been there 18 months. I didn't. This is everything I'm saying today is just me representing a much greater good. Back to Robert and Gene and Rick and Travis and a lot of the guys who started it, and Brian Black and some other folks. But the culture is there, and we were cognizant of that, and we continue to try to foster that. And we appreciate the kind words, but we appreciate the constructive criticism too. Right. We are always going to ask, give us the bad and the ugly. Right. We definitely don't hit it right every time. We try to, like everybody else, but we need to know what we're missing the mark on too.
And I think people can see when even when something maybe doesn't hit right, when it doesn't land, just like a YouTube video, like when it doesn't land, you can tell if there's like thoughtfulness put into it. If there's been a reasonable amount of research or just time spent in the planning phase. You can tell, you can see it, and that if it doesn't go exactly as you planned, it's okay. That's just another step towards your goal and a learning opportunity. And it kind of leads me to my next question, which, what has been your most rewarding day? Like, can you think back and remember a specific day, or just a 24-hour period that has been the most rewarding for you since you started at Winman?
Not specifically, but there's moments, and it's always, for me, it's always my kid related or a user feedback related.
Okay.
Right. And so it's realizing that amongst this thing and 40,000 visitors, and it's still a job. It's an awesome job. It's still a job, and you kind of get caught up in it. And then you hear this impact that a person had, right? So women emailed me, thanks for having Winman. Here's a check. And I was recovering from cancer. If it weren't for your trails, I wouldn't have physically gotten back to being what I'm doing now. Like, whoa, like, she did it by herself silently. But it's it's a hugely impactful moment for that individual. But we have these moments where people find success and victory and get better. Those moments, and there's dozens of those that stand out and pop in my brain when you ask that. So those all, one doesn't outshine the other. It's just it's the people part of the trail system, selfishly, that I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
That may be that's what I loved about healthcare too. I mean,
Sure.
being a PT was great. And I still practice still with license, and I do some stuff on the side, but people moments are what we're doing here too. Different.
Yeah. And when I look at like your mission statement, right, the Winman mission statement, like the part that I always focus on, the part that always speaks to me is the strengthening community.
Yeah,
I love that. Like that's what I want to do with this stream, with my whole YouTube channel. Like that's exactly what I want to do, and that's part of why I've always focused on trying to make good content rather than trying to achieve a specific subscriber number. Or I didn't think about making a video any differently now than I did when I had 10 subscribers. It's about producing a piece of content, or in your case, producing an experience for somebody that strengthens a community and helps people have more fun with other people, or with nature and what's out there, right?
Completely. Yeah. No, I think that's well said.
And have you had any experiences with Karens at Winman? I feel like you probably have.
I have.
Don't use their full name, not their government name, but is there any good story you want to throw out there? Speaking of strengthening communities, is a great segue.
It is. What do I want to say? Oftentimes like most, I think, Karen situations, it's a lack of knowledge, and then coupled with a lack of tact in the questioning, or the misunderstanding. So I tend to want to approach those with education. So what I do is I give them way too long of an email back, usually, right? It's rarely to me individually. It's via email or via contact. It's not, I usually don't know who they are per se. But they get about 1,000-word essay back that educates them more than they cared to know. But I would also say this: we better have a why, right? If they're questioning something, if they don't get something, if they're mad at something, I want them to share that. But I think if it's done in a way that is more Karen-esque, how can I maybe educate them that allows them to hopefully not be offended, hopefully just leave a little more educated. But we have them.
Which is the hard part. That's the hard part.
But what we don't have, and I think, we talk about this in other ways, is, trail conflict. Who was that? There's some guys from Florida who were biking last summer. Anyway, we get the trail conflict question a lot, and we just don't really have it. I mean, certainly not like others. And part of it is all our trails are different, right? So there's not joggers. There's not supposed to be joggers on the bike trail. Some people get confused, but not intentionally. But if you're in the North Woods and you're mad, that's a you problem. It's kind of what I say.
100%.
Because either you're fortunate enough to be there, right? Financially, you got a friend or a buddy. And then secondly, you're just there. If you're in the North Woods and mad, so we don't get a lot of it because you can't be.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And back to the positive side of things, like Steve has been up there with us a number of times. And I mean, he's had fun helping us with photo shoots where his literal job for about an hour is just to throw dirt in the air.
Yeah, he's the man behind the
great photo. The nighttime photo that Aaron got. Like all the dust that you saw in the air coming from behind the light was Steve's very specific, very calibrated dust throwing into the air, which is
Did his work claim for respiratory illness go through or not?
We weren't going to mention it to him, but now he knows, and now probably there will be something coming. But
statute of limitations.
Yeah, even that, like even Steve helping us getting absolutely destroyed by mosquitoes, we still have so much fun there, like so much fun there. So that was pretty cool. And this too.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah. And even within our group of people, like even within the people that we've brought there over the years, which has been quite a few, we've had people that many people have fat biked for the first time there with us, and now do it all the time. Like that's like, for example, Christian, aka Krish, as a professional mountain biker, which he is, because he's mountain biked in some great places. Christian isn't the biggest fan of cold weather, but I made Christian fat bike. I think it was about 5 degrees one time, and I took him on the demo loop for the first time, because he comes with us on a lot of our trips, and so he's mountain biked in some of the best places that we've mountain biked. And I was like, this is Winman. You're going to take you're going to get on my 100% carbon fiber fat bike, and we're going to go on this demo trail on the Winman Trails, which are some of the best fat bike trails you could possibly ever ride on. I know it's cold, but we're going to do this together. And we sure did. And, the demo trail was maybe a mile. And I think I looked back at him maybe half a mile into it. And I looked back, and he was had the reddest, coldest face I don't think I've ever seen. And he still had a great time. Had a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think to both those comments, we do have something for everybody. It's something we've become known for, and we're seeing. And I don't know how trendy we are or not, but you're certainly seeing it in other places, because if you're going to grow a sport, you've got to grow it. You can grow it a lot of ways, but certainly an easy way is from the ground up with youth, and not just youth, just new riders, right? When the sport becomes approachable, you fall in love with it. And then, that's a good point. But the chat is just lighting up with some nice stuff here. Yeah, we will see you in a few weeks. Yeah, that'll be fun.
And Tanya, we have been basically promised some primo conditions, which is nice.
Yes, I will promise. It should be good.
If you're in the Northwoods and your med needs to be a bumper sticker, yeah, that's true. I kind of thought about that too. Oh, that's right. He held the flash too. He had to hold the flash. Yeah, big credit.
Multi-talented.
Yeah,
it really was cool.
And 5 degrees was a stretch. Yeah, it might have been -5. I get those confused a lot.
My favorite day in the winter is a sunny 0 degree day.
Yeah.
Trails are awesome. It's beautiful. It feels good. You can actually, oh man, a 0 degree sunny day at about 9.
Yeah. It's like a really good middle finger to every mosquito that ever lived. Right? Yeah. I dare you. Go ahead. Try to survive right now, because I'm still out here. I'm the same guy that was out here in the summer, and now I'm out here in the winter, and you can't do nothing.
You had me that time.
Yeah.
Then it just gets you motivated to get faster. That's what mosquitoes do for me. Yeah. Purely a motivator.
Yeah. The sun is everything. The sun is absolutely everything.
Man, yeah. Hitting off the trees. Oh man, it's awesome.
Well, we're 23 minutes over schedule as per usual.
It was fun.
It was awesome. Again, sorry that my video's no good. Sorry about that. At least Isaac looks good.
You're just letting your guests shine.
Exactly.
That's
maybe there's probably a blur setting I have. There's probably a blurry setting that I have turned on my side for some reason. The guest spotlight feature. Can't thank you enough, man. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody who chimed in. Thanks for being here, and come check out the trails if you have any questions. Social media, winmantrails@gmail.com. Hit me up. We want you to have a good experience here, so don't hesitate to reach out.
Let's see, 3 weeks. There's not another stream for 3 weeks, which is good, because maybe that gives me some time to figure out my internet situation. But in 3 weeks, it will be it is Ivan Reed from the Global Trail Guide channel, who He actually, that's not a marketing campaign. He really does ride all over the world. Like he does bucket list rides like every day on the regular, like it's nobody's business. So I'm excited to chat with him. Yeah, he's been everywhere. He's done all kinds of different like Tour de France stages and a bunch of really cool stuff. So I'm excited to talk with him, and hopefully I get my stream straightened out by then. But thanks everybody. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I'm not going to see you guys until after Christmas. So happy holidays. Enjoy your Christmas. I'll see you in 2023, I suppose. So thanks again.
Thanks, JT.
Isaac. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome.
All right, guys.